This video is sped up 6 times, and as it goes I will add my comments. Here I have started with a sphere. There are many different ways you can start sculpting a humanoid or any type of character in Zbrush, and one of them would be to construct a character from a number of primitives. And this is basically what I'm doing here, because I find this method to be the most efficient. So basically, right now I have constructed the torso here, and I've added these appendages sticking from the sides. These are supposed to represent the back muscle, which I believe is called latissimus dorsi. I'm copying again, I've added a neck and a head by copying the primitives that I already have in the scene. And as I go, this is basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy the objects which are in the scene, and then I'm going to reposition them. It's a very, very quick and efficient way to grasp the overall proportions of the character quickly. And in the beginning, it is very, very important actually to start with broad shapes, which let you establish the proportions quickly. And the fact that the character is constructed of several objects, this lets you introduce changes fairly quickly and efficiently. If the character would be a continuous mesh, which is another way to make a character, it's a completely legit way, but I prefer to construct the characters from primitives because it lets me make changes that much quicker. So here I'm working on the legs. If you look at the concept design, you'll see that the character wears pants, and that means that we will not need to sculpt muscles. The pants will cover all the muscles, unlike the upper body, which is exposed. And in a moment I will start adding individual muscles to the torso. There you go, I've created a sphere. The sphere is supposed to represent the deltoids. Quite often the deltoids are represented by something spherical. I've just added the hands. These are the default hands available as part of one of the default insert brushes inside Zbrush. Adding all those muscles so early on really not only help to understand the proportions better, but later on when I will collapse the torso into a single object using Dynamesh, that will really help me. Basically half of the work will already be done. I've copied the deltoids and I'm creating chest muscles from it. Again, it's very important to know your anatomy, and if you have trouble with your anatomy, of course you'll have to have an anatomy book or a chart next to you or on a second monitor. It's very important to be confident with your anatomy, because weak anatomy shows in sculpting. Is nothing really complicated about human anatomy, especially about the anatomy of the torso. Like the lower arm is pretty much the hardest part. But the rest is pretty simple, and here I'm adjusting the fingers of this default hand, because I looked at it and I realized that the fingers are too close together, and later when I will be doing my retopology, the fact that the fingers are close together will really complicate the retopology process. Some few small adjustments. Today we're only constructing overall shapes from primitives, like here I've copied the chest muscles and I'm creating clavicle from it, because clavicle is a very important part of human anatomy, should never leave out the clavicle. In the future lessons, probably in the next one, I will be collapsing all of the objects together and sculpting final details. It probably will take several videos to complete this character sculpt. Here I'm doing the biceps, and it's very important to know exactly where the biceps is attached to the upper and lower arm, and then the triceps, because biceps is usually, it's very often you look at somebody's sculpt and you realize that the biceps is positioned incorrectly. Same goes for the triceps. If you are not sure how those muscles are attached, you should absolutely look at some references. Upper arm, as I said, lower arm, as I said previously, is the most complicated part probably of the human anatomy when it comes at least to anatomy for artists, because it consists of lots of muscles which are articulating the fingers, but it is the best way to simplify the lower arm is by using two shapes like I'm doing here, and that will really simplify later stages of sculpting. The fact that I'm constructing the muscles of the arms so meticulously. Finally, adding some final touches, here I am using the sphere to mark where the elbow is supposed to be. Again, saving the project. Never forget to save the project. It should be an automatic response. Here I'm adding hair. The hair, in the final version, hair will also be represented by a geometric shape. There are many ways to make hair in 3D, but having a geometric shape here would probably be most appropriate for our project. And I also decided at the end to add some facial features, just probably to make the character a little more recognizable. Sculpting the final version of the head will be its own video, maybe even several videos.